What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Every few months we're always treated to some negative discourse about the video games themselves, or to put it more specifically, gaming is ruined! This narrative is nothing new because of the influx of broken game releases, publisher greed, and a focus by some developers towards trying to chase worn-out trends in the industry. I can definitely see why some people turn into doom mode when it comes to gaming, or turn into a bloomer by subscribing to the channel. Of course, there are obvious negatives to how the video game industry is today, and I think it's fine to acknowledge them, but a few bad apples shouldn't completely ruin an entire industry. However, when some people think that video games themselves as a whole are getting worse, I just feel that they just don't see the bigger picture.
What could possibly go wrong?
Of course, I entered a hellscape that was Twitter, and then I saw what was a pretty innocuous question from Face Sway. What ruined gaming? Obviously, there are many answers to this, but if I had to answer this question, it would be pretty obvious. Anyone who has been watching my channel for quite a while now would know that with the exception of the biggest games on the market, I've come to not be very fond of the live service model. With the oversaturation of games within the same genre, developers who are trying to chase that trend of becoming the next Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone, there are only so many games that people could commit their time to. If there is one thing that I feel that has ruined video games, it's definitely the live service model. I do find it difficult to wonder why he asked this question when he's coming from the same group of people who complain and bitch about having absolutely nothing to play. The dopamine hit of playing the same shooters and popular games for content must be running out really hard for them just to conclude that gaming is ruined. It always feels like they think that video games just do not hit the same level anymore, or that they're completely ruined.
I don't know, things just aren't thought out, man. Fuck! There's nothing else to play. I want to play something. I want to have fun.
I absolutely disagree. And I'm genuinely finding it kind of hilarious and sad at the same time that there are people out there who think that there's absolutely nothing to play. And this always crops up on social media. They're playing the same games every day, and eventually they've gotten really bored from it after putting thousands of hours on them altogether. There's no entertainment out of jumping into Al Mazrah in Call of Duty Warzone or the average 30-minute match in League of Legends. This mindset of video games getting boring because there's nothing to play that isn't the big online titles is just weak in and of itself for a good number of reasons. The most important thing that I can say here is to just get out of your comfort zone. Take a break from the same shooters and sports games and MOBAs and find something that isn't up your alley. You never know if it's going to be one of your favourite games of all time, and I promise you, you're not going to regret getting into games that you may have not been super big into back then. A couple of years ago, I wasn't really into JRPGs, and up to a certain point, I never got through a significant stage with them, let alone even finishing them. And I dabbled with a few JRPGs, but I never really spent enough time to actually enjoy them. That was until I bought Persona 5 on a whim, and I spent months thinking if I was going to consider playing it for the very first time. I finally booted up for the very first time, and I was completely hooked for months. Very few games have done this on a level where I really resonated with its themes, gameplay, story, and the music. And to this very day, Persona 5 is not only one of my favourite games of all time, it literally opened the door to a massive genre that I'm still discovering bits by bits. It also instantly opened the door to Atlus becoming one of my favourite developers of all time. Any game that they will release, I will instantly get hyped for it, like how they're kicking with Persona 3 Reload, Persona 5 Tactica, and the metaphor with Fantasio. And it's not even just whole genres, even certain series, it might have something that you might like. Earlier this year, I started playing the Trails series after being recommended the games by a couple of friends. Well, just Trails in the Sky first chapter at the moment, but I was pleasantly surprised by how well the game has aged. This came out in 2004, and almost every aspect of Trails in the Sky first chapter has aged very well. The core gameplay design, the battle system, the music, and it kicks off what is an intertwined and connective narrative so well. And there's more than 10 games in this series, so like, what am I missing out on at this point? I've already given 2 examples of series that I previously didn't dabble with, and it turned out, yes, I enjoy these games. We live at a time where gaming is more accessible than ever before, and there are so many games to choose from. We are utterly spoiled with choice regardless of like what platform you play on. And who wins? Us, the gamers. When you start playing a game from the genre that you don't usually play, curiosity is always involved. But if you love playing that game, it opens up to whole new experiences that are absolutely worth a try. Once you start playing more games and you get up out of that comfort zone, you begin to realise that a lot of what ruins gaming just disappears at the forefront of your mind. Sure, there are issues in the industry that plague it to this very day, but it doesn't mean that gaming in and of itself is ruined. The positives still outweigh the negatives, and the most important part of gaming is to have fun. And if that wasn't convincing enough, this year has been awesome when it comes to video games. We have received banger after banger every month. In the last month alone, we got Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, and Final Fantasy 16. All 3 games are incredibly good experiences, and whilst I didn't play Diablo 4, that game has been getting glowing praise. I did play Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16, and both games are utterly phenomenal. Street Fighter 6 was a return to form. It's like the first fighting game in a long while that I've really enjoyed, and Final Fantasy 16 has been an absolute blast to play. I haven't put down the controller. I've just been playing that game like constantly. Honestly, I don't get the argument that gaming is ruined. Yes, we get bad practices every now and then, but the core medium has so much to explore. Just because there is nothing to play doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. Instead, it creates an opportunity, a way to discover what could possibly be your next favourite game, a guilty pleasure, or a series that you might want to experience. And every year, we still get great games that are genuinely deserving of your attention. Gaming isn't ruined, you just need to open up your horizons. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.